That it is. She glanced at the window. Waiting for someone? He didn't bother fabricating an excuse. For the past 3 years since the mail-order bride advertisement had swept through the national Amish community, thanks to a prank by his younger brother Jesse, Stoll's Inn had been the primary residence for single Amish women arriving in Birch Creek to find a husband, with somewhat mixed results. I was just getting ready to knock on the door. A little fib, but he didn't want to explain everything. Why not the front door? Sela's smile widened. Busted. Oh well, he'd forget this little embarrassing moment after Noreen accepted his proposal. Is Noreen here? Sela's smile faded. Nee. Oh. Maybe she'd stepped out for a few minutes. Have you seen her lately? Not since this morning. She'd been gone all day? That didn't make sense. You're welcome to wait for her in the lobby, Sela said. Then she frowned a little. I'm sorry to pry, but are you seeing each other? He rubbed the back of his neck, hesitating. Yeah. Although Amish dating was often kept private, Noreen had insisted on keeping their relationship a secret from everyone. It's more special that way, she'd said right before she kissed him senseless. She had a way of doing that whenever a niggle of doubt or questioning crept in, and by the end of the kiss everything was right again. And soon she would be his wife, so there was no reason to hide their love anymore. Sela opened her mouth as if she were going to say something else, then closed it. Gay on in, she said. There's coffee, tea, and some fresh lemon water if you want. Help yourself to some snacks, too. I'm headed home for the night. Donkey. He moved to walk past her, then saw a flicker of concern in her eyes. I hope she doesn't keep you waiting too long. Me too. Sela waved to him, then turned around and headed for the house next to the inn where she and Levi lived. He walked through the back of the inn to the front lobby, which was empty. His brother Ezra worked here as a handyman, and occasionally Nelson would help him with a project or 3. That's how he'd met Noreen. It was also how Ezra had met his future wife, Catherine. When Noreen showed up and accepted his proposal, Nelson would be the second Bontrager to find forever love at the Stoll's Inn. He grabbed some water and gulped it down, then wiped his face with his handkerchief. He shoved it back into his pocket and sat down at one of the breakfast tables. Surely wherever Noreen was, she'd be back soon. A clock sat above a large stone fireplace on the opposite wall of the lobby. Tick, tick, tick. 30 minutes later, the front door opened, and Nelson shot up from his chair. Beulah, one of Noreen's friends, walked inside. He dashed over to her. Have you seen Noreen? He inwardly cringed at the desperation in his voice, but he couldn't control it. Waiting on her for so long had sent his anxiety into orbit. Beulah's round face turned pale. Her eyes darted to the still open door. Finally, he hurried outside and saw 2 shadowy figures near the large tree in the front yard of the inn next to the gravel lot. A tall male, a short female, embracing each other. The niggle turned into a sour knot as they moved hand in hand closer to the house. The light from the parking lot lamppost revealing their faces. Ben Miller and Noreen. His Noreen. Her giggle reached his ears, and he watched in shock as they stopped close to the inn's long front porch, unaware they weren't alone. She stood on tiptoes and kissed Ben. Senseless. Nelson's jaw jerked as they broke apart, and Ben walked away while Noreen turned to face the inn. His heart pounded and ached in his chest. How could she lie to him about Thursday nights? How could she kiss another man when she's in love with me? Her brows lifted with shock. Nelson! She ran up the stairs and pulled him away from the front door. What are you doing here? It's Thursday. His tone turned ugly. The day you always want for yourself? The one when you insist on being alone? Her beautiful blue eyes turned to ice. I thought we had an agreement. Thursday nights are my nights. To gay out with other men. He moved away from her, as if he were seeing her for the first time. I thought we were in a relationship.